Okay, what's up? I'm Carmen, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the art of play. I've been getting some questions. I post about this on my social media. I talk about, oh, I lead the art of play. So, what does that mean? Thank you for asking. So, the art of play is mindset and mindfulness meets facilitated play, improv based games. So, why do I use the word play? Again, thank you for asking. So, I use the word play because people hear the word improv and they shut down. I don't do that. I'm not an actor, or they're terrified. For some reason, this is a practice that terrifies people. So, the first thing I do is create a safe and judgment free environment. We're not here to judge ourselves, we're not here to judge anybody else. We're just open and willing to show up fully present and play. Um, I will get into a little bit more about my background in a minute, but I just want to offer a framework of what this practice is. And I call it a practice because that is what it is. Florence Scovel Shinn said, most people treat life as though it were a battle to be fought when life is really a game to be played. And we all know that our mindset, our beliefs, the lens through which we see the world has dictates the experience that we have as a human being. All of us, all of us are having an experience. If we are alive, we are having an experience. And yet, we as humans have very different experiences. There's similarities, there's things that are similar in all of us. We're all made up of the same star stuff. We're all made up of the same things in our bodies, and yet we all have these very different experiences, our own unique individual experiences. So to treat life as though it were a game to be played, that is a pretty fun way of living life. And I feel like that's kind of how you win, winning the game of life. There's also another saying that the greatest work of art you will ever create is the life that you live. And I do believe that, to be true. So the art of play, this mindset, mindfulness meets facilitated play, which is improv based games. My experiences are geared more towards executives, entrepreneurs, and peak performers, people who are thriving. And it's this practice. What's so beautiful about this practice is it is always the unknown. You never know what's going to happen. Um, and the first thing that we do in these experiences is get present. So we have this practice of getting present, making sure we all agree to have a safe and judgment-free environment, and then we're all open and willing to play together. The first thing I do is invite people to put the idea that we have to be funny or witty or clever out of their mind. That is not what this is about. So really, this practice of facilitated play is about being fully present and supporting your team partners, accepting what is and adding to it. That's the yes and. We've heard these principles, yes and. So you say yes to what you're given and then you add to it. We build from there. Also, there's another principle, there are no mistakes, only opportunities. And that's so true. And applying those things to life is a game changer. So, this practice of being present, accepting what is, adding to it. And like most things in life, the best things in life really are to be experienced. So I can explain it, I can give some insights. Hopefully, I'll spark a little curiosity and you'll want to come have an experience with me or go take an improv class. Go take a regular improv class. Those are available to you. Corporate improv workshops have been a thing for quite a while, and I knew about that. I found improv about 13 years ago. I did a writing and improv intensive at the Second City in Chicago, which is one of the places to study. to study improv and I fell in love with it. I had trained as a dancer when I was younger, trained as an actor. I've spent a couple decades cultivating my craft as an artist. And when I found improv, it was just total freedom. And I found myself really thriving in this unknown and being somebody who tends to take things a little too seriously or overthink. It was just this beautiful experience of allowing something to come to us and through us and creatively collaborate with people spontaneously in the moment. And if you haven't been to see an improv show, they're pretty cool to watch. So that's an overview. One of the things I do in my workshop is we play more advanced games off the bat. You if you were to go take an improv class, like a level one improv class somewhere, they have a syllabus and you have to do all of these things before you get into some of the games where you're creating characters. And we just like jump into some of that stuff. And also the experience of being curious and open and willing to do something that you kind of don't know what you're going to do. That is a part of this. So as I'm talking, I'm like, you just have to experience it, but it's a thrill. It's incredible. And even 13 years later, it's like, I'm just getting started. So, which is because we always are, and it's always something new. You're creating new neural pathways constantly because you can't do the same thing twice, ever when you're in this practice. You just can't. I also have a yoga and meditation certification. I did my Kundalini teacher training here in Los Angeles, and I have a background in sales. And first, I worked in the service industry for a number of years. And from my experience in the service industry, I got to experience how I could curate and create an experience for other people. So they may come in just to have a dinner, but what if this is like the most amazing dinner? And then they tip me. So it's like getting this idea and experience that I can prepave how people feel and experience this thing that could just be normal and let it be something kind of magical. Then I have sold I sold cars for a number of years, and then I sold credit card processing services. So B2B sales was something else that I did. And you cannot pre-plan what you're going to say, and different people want different things. And so being able to tap into that intuition and the active listening aspect of it as well, really listening. You can't be thinking about what you're going to say and really listening and playing these games at the same time. Corporate improv workshops have been a thing for a long time. So companies have hired people to come in and do improv workshops for them for a long time. That's nothing new, really. But I think I have my own special sauce of improv that I guide people through. Again, we call it facilitated play so that people don't shut down. It forces you the active listening aspect, the stimulating your imagination, cultivating confidence, your communication, and thinking on your feet. All of these things serve us in life and in business. Someone recently was asking me about improv and business strategy. Well, the more open we are, the more willing we are to take certain risks, that will serve us in our business. The better communicator I am, that is going to serve every aspect of my life. And we all know that personal development, how I am and how I be is going to affect my business. So these are how things all tie together. There's amazing articles about out there. I'll link one in below from a founder and CEO talking about how going to take an improv class highly serves him in leadership and in listening. There is something called the National Institute for Play that was started 30 years ago by Dr. Stuart Brown. There's a whole white paper on the benefits of play. I love that. I think it's amazing. And yes, and that's the principle of improv. One does not become more playful by reading a white paper. One becomes more playful by playing. I've seen a recent trend of using Legos for coaching and personal development. That's amazing. And in this practice, we have ourselves. Everything we create is within us and amongst us. So that's an extra layer of how this practice is unique and powerful and very special, and why I feel like it's such an honor to get to guide people through an experience, and just how golden it is to be able to create that environment for other people and then guide them through an experience. I'll also link the white paper to the National Institute for Play here below. We're seeing more and more about play in the zeitgeist of business as well. Dr. Daniel Pink wrote a book called, is he a doctor? Daniel Pink. We'll just say Daniel Pink, best-selling author, wrote a book called A Whole New Mind. And he said that play is one of the 6 qualities an individual needs to thrive in our ever-evolving world. And fun. Like, how can we have more fun? How can we turn everything into an opportunity? Things that seemed hard or whatever can become a game for us if we choose to see it that way. So there's so many benefits from this practice. There's a video that you can watch where I go through some of the exercises. These experiences are interactive, so everybody plays. I originally created them for a group of 6 to 22. I think 8 to 22, 25 is an amazing number, and they can be adapted. I recently did an IG Live for an amazing mental health organization called The Shift, and I walked through our presence practice that we start with, and then I did some examples of some games and let people play along with me at home without interacting. But really, the interaction and the doing this with other people, it is where the gold is, truly. If you have any questions about the art of play, please hit me up. I love to hear from you. And when I originally started developing this several years ago, knowing that there were corporate improv workshops, taking my own unique experience and various work history into something that's unique that I can, of high value, that I can offer others. I originally called it the Laugh and Learn because I had an organization that I was pitching my workshop to that was a nonprofit that cultivates um, young ladies, to guiding them into careers, STEM careers. And so that was really the first time that I did this after I had taught improv at a professional kids acting school, and I led during the shutdown. I started just hosting a play date for people to come and try improv, or for my friends that already were into it, just a chance to come and play. And from the laugh and learn, I've gotten better over the years. I've had more experience and have truly come to be so jazzed that I get to offer this experience to other people. So if you have any questions, that's a kind of an overview, a little bit about what it is, the benefits of it. Really, this is for people who are at a certain level that we have a curiosity. It's like, what's next? How can I experience this next thing that I don't even know? I don't know, you know? So it's dancing in the unknown always. And it's such a cool experience that I'm going to invite you to reach out. My next I'm not gonna even plug my next class so this video can live on as something that I can send to people. And I thank you for, if you're watching this, thank you so much for watching. Life is grand. There's a saying, the art of living, the game of life, and I think the art of playing the game of life is something that I feel honored to be able to help people with.